Good morning. Welcome to Anambra Broadcasting Service. This morning on Good Morning Anambra, my name is Ajuluchuku Okabwe. This morning we want to be talking on the program challenges, talking about facing mental health struggles and challenges in Nigeria. And that's what we are talking about this morning. And in the studio, we have Reverend Father Godwin Okoye, who is a clinical psychologist and chaplain of Tansi International College, Oka, in charge of integral development. Good morning, Reverend Father Godwin. And also, we have Dr. Chinwe Onyemechi, Head Department of Psychology, Chukwuemeka Odumegu, Ojukwu University, Ibariam Campus. Good morning. Welcome, lady and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being part of our discussion segment on Good Morning Anambra this Friday. Quickly, let's delve into the topic we have for today, facing mental health struggles in Nigeria and challenges and solutions. Reverend Father Godwin, can you just in a nutshell just tell our viewers and then the layman out there what mental health actually is? Because most times people misunderstand it to be someone that is probably a lunatic or someone that has lost his mind. Can you just tell us that in a nutshell?
Okay. Mental health is the state of the mind in which somebody is able to cope with the stresses of life and then be able to fulfill his potentials and be able to learn well and work well. When a person's mental state is in that form, you say that the person is mentally okay.
So that's interesting to know that when you can coordinate yourself in an environment and then do things that wouldn't raise eyebrows, and that means you're okay. Coming to Dr. Chinwe, Head Department Psychology. When you're talking about mental health, at what point can someone's behavior begin to, try to shed light on this person needs some form of guidance, this person needs some form of medical attention regarding his or her mental health?
Okay, like Father said, mental health entails our emotional, social, behavioral, and physical well-being. And we have criteria to say that this behavior is abnormal, is no longer normal. And we have something like deviation from the norms. And what does that mean? It means when you deviate from acceptable norms in a given society, that means your behavior is no longer normal, it's abnormal. And when that behavior affects the way you think, affects your work, affects your family. What am I trying to say? If you come in a work setting and maybe what you're expected to do, you do not do them as it is expected, is no longer acceptable. The way you dress to work, the way you relate to your colleagues at work, your marriage, everything about you is affected. That means your mental health is having a challenge. You need a check.
That's interesting. Well, relating it to the current situation of the country, Nigeria, because we're still talking about mental health challenges and the struggles as it relates to Nigeria. Sincerely speaking, Reverend Father, most Nigerians are going through a whole lot now based on government policies and inadequacies of the government meeting their basic standards and recommendations for the citizenry. Can you say that the majority of Nigerians are having mental issues based on the fact that they can't afford the basics of life? Or probably, will I say, the essence of governance seems to be eluding the average Nigerian?
Yes. Many Nigerians are passing through what I may term mental challenges right now because of the state of affairs in the economic crisis, the societal crisis. So, a lot of Nigerians are not able again to cope due to the overwhelming influences of these factors. When we talk of mental health, or when we say mental illness, it's not only the major illnesses, the major mental illnesses. There are some that people term minor, even though they still spoil big things. So,
can you tell us a bit of such? Can you tell us a bit of those that you term minor, but then in the long run they spoil things?
Okay. For instance, the way people think. Some people think in self-defeating manner. Some of the leaders, or many of the leaders, think in that way, and many of the led also think in that way. And it is part of what is causing the corruption in the country, because the cognitive patterns of the people is wrong. So, when people reason in a way that is not in order, it will be affecting their emotions and they are affecting their behaviors. All these things are in the realm of mental health.
Dr. Chinwe, you want to say something to that?
Yes, WHO has a statistics of Nigerians that have mental health. They said 20% of Nigerians have mental health challenges. And
20%?
Yes, and which means about huge. 40 million
that's huge.
Persons in Nigeria. And I think that's somehow correct. Why? In Nigeria, we talk about economic crisis. You find out that in Nigeria, we have started to buy money. You will have 1 million in your account, and you go to the bank and they'll give you 20,000 naira. What can you do with 20,000 naira here in Nigeria? To buy a fuel from here to Ibariam will cost you about 30,000 naira. How much is my salary? Talk about our income. Our income rate and the way we spend it is very low. It's not normal. About our children, school fees has skyrocketed. Go to the schools, you pay school fees, you buy books, you buy clothes, you buy bag, you buy shoe from the same school, and it is ×3 of what we are paying. House rent, I was paying 350,000 as of last year, but as of July, I was asked to pay 700,000. How much do I earn in a month? ×12. You see that all of us are having mental health challenges. We are all antagonizing, talking, crying, weeping, and talk about learned helplessness. Some people have gone to the road to beg because they cannot do anything. They have said, okay, please, and they're crying for help, 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 help. Who is going to help you in Nigeria? All of us, including you, have mental health challenges. Go out to go to a cocker. How much is our fare to a cocker? How much is fuel? 1.5 per liter. How much will you buy? How much is your income? Food scarcity. You cannot even find enough food for us now. I used to buy a bag of cement of potato, 5,000. But today I bought it 12,000 naira last month. How much is beans? A bag of beans I bought 65,000 naira last month. It's now about 220. A bag of beans. Rice. All things are so expensive and they are scarce. You can't even see them to buy. Tomatoes. Everything is expensive.
So these are adding to the mental issues Nigerians are grappling with at this moment.
Sure, sure.
But now, these things that you just enumerated are government policies implemented, you understand? And the weight is now overburdening us. So now, if government did this to us, as a Department of Psychology, University of University, what then can we do in looking for solutions to all of these things? In order to reduce that 40 million you're talking about Nigerians that are having issues with mental health.
Okay. By next week Thursday, we're having a conference in security and national development. It's part of a way to curb all these menace in Nigeria. Then, for us to have a good governance, I am an advocate of personality assessment. For every person that must be in government. When I did my master's at Nsukka, I was asked to go for an assessment to ensure that I am stable to study clinical psychology, which entails the study of human behavior. And if I am not stable, I cannot handle another person. Yes. So I believe the government needs to go through psychological assessments. Apart from that, then psychotherapy, psychoeducation. We need to reorient our people on the way they think. We need to change our mindset. Our mindset has been so distorted, and there is a need for everyone of us to go through psychological assessment, psychotherapy, psychoeducation, and then a rethinking to all this. Our slave mentality should stop. Can you imagine in Nigeria, all our universities, for you to be a professor, you have to be assessed with Scopus, Thomson Reuters outside, while I'm in Nigeria. But those of them outside can never use our own African journal to assess themselves. I think it's a mental slavery, and we have to stop it. We have to come back home and have a rethink on ourselves. And I believe if we can come back home and do a rethink, we can address these issues one after the other. When you are being assessed and we know where you're having issues, psychoeducation, psychotherapy, counseling sections can help us to become organized once again in Nigeria.
Thank you. Before I come to Reverend Father Godwin, let us go for a street walk and get to feel the pulse of Nigerians out there on the streets. Like I usually say, our street parliamentarians, let them know what we're talking about and hear from their own view. Don't go anywhere. The show continues after this short break.
To my little understanding, I believe many people think it's because of the way the country is. Yes, so some people believe when they go to disclose certain information to certain persons, they believe the information will go out and everybody will get to know, okay, this is what this person is going through, right? And for that reason, some persons believe, no, I'd rather just keep it to myself than going to the hospital to seek for mental advice. Yes, and one of the ways we can, correct that mindset is when we try to educate them. Many Nigerians, they don't believe in orientation. Many people believe, okay, I don't know. I'm ignorant of certain things. Yes, I want to live with that. So I believe when they educate them, go out, tell them, okay, this is the implication of having such mindset. I believe most of these things can be corrected.
Their challenge is just the ability to speak up. Because if they have this fear, or should I say fear of, oh, let me just be myself. I cannot talk to anybody. Nobody wants to listen to me. No one will care to even listen to me. So that's the biggest challenge, speaking up. The solution is putting in place, how will I say it now? I don't know how to say it. Create awareness program for them. That is it. And also, we Nigerians, I don't even know how to say it, but we actually tend to, see this person as, I cannot talk to this person. But you find out that average Nigerians, they actually need people to speak up to. Because I have somebody that died of depression recently, committed suicide. And I'm sure in his situation, he was looking for the right people to actually speak to, but there was none. So I feel if they can create awareness program for them, they would have, and if they can see, okay, this person is ready to support me, therefore they are good to go.
Support. If they have mental challenges, the government, nobody supporting them to move to somewhere to take care of themselves. How do you expect them to be well? That's what I'm still saying to you. Support, encouragement. Are you getting it? From where? From the government, from the state, from the individuals. Do you get it? That's how we need to do it, because nobody was having, in the years back, there wasn't no mental issue, but we're finding that along the line, economy started growing issues, which is more versatile in the world now, which you know is everywhere in the world. So what we need is encouragement, and that's all. Encouragement can come in different areas. So that's just what I can throw to the person. Yes. feeding challenges, non-job employment. That's our challenges. Someone working in an office being paid 50,000 and transportation to come to work is about 65,000. Those are challenges. It comes to the mental. When you see the person, or Nagazi, see if there's something else. So it affects everywhere. The job, people you see around, along the line. Government says, go, leave. Those things cause mental challenges. Mental challenge must not come in maybe drug addict or that way. No, it comes together with living, everyday living. If you are not successful in every day you go out, there'll be mental challenges. So that's it.
Yeah, we've heard it from our street parliamentarians there. Everybody seems to be happy. The whole blame on government and government's failure to live up to their expectations. Quickly, let us actually wrap it up. Let me start with Reverend Father Godwin. Based on what has been said and what you experience in this country and what you see happening around, in a nutshell, what do you think we can do individually, collectively, the church, and then the government to nip this issue at the bud so that the cases of Nigeria struggling with mental challenges can be brought to the barest minimum?
There are several things we can do about it, but prominent among them is to put the clinical psychologists in the scheme of affairs of civil service in Nigeria. If a clinical psychologist are put in the scheme of affairs, they will be in the position to help the country. Because a lot of people don't know what the various things that are supposed to be done to correct the anomalies, but the clinical psychologists do. But right now in the country, we have what I may call role reversal. Role reversal is a situation whereby those who are not supposed to be in a certain position,
yeah. That is sensitive position.
They are there. And those who are not, the other people are in the other side. For instance, if you are servants,
you're talking about putting position. Square pegs in square holes. Thank you so much. Let me get to hear from Dr. Chinwe.
In a nutshell, I think social support is the key. And that means your friends, your family, the church, we need to come together as a family and think like Africans and not individualistic. It cannot help. This community living is going to help us. Let's go back to our roots, our kinsmen, Omonna, Omoada. When we come as a group, we can help each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much. On that note, we say thank you, those our viewers watching us. And I hope we definitely talked a whole lot about clinical struggles when we're talking about facing mental health and struggles in Nigeria, challenges and solutions. In the studio with me, I had Reverend Father Godwin Okoye, clinical psychologist and chaplain of Tansi International College, Oka, in charge of integral development, and also Dr. Chinwe Onyemechi, head, Department of Psychology, Chukwuemeka Odumogu, Juku University, Ibariam campus. Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you so much, Reverend Father, for being here. My name is Ajulu Chukwu Okabwe. Thank you for joining us. Have a lovely weekend.